Bruised But Not Broken is a piece that I wrote about my, some people have heard it. It's a piece that I wrote about my experience with abuse. I call it my victory piece. He was a member of society's beautiful ones, saw those dreamy pools of brown wonder, and I dove headfirst into the reflection of love I saw in them. He smiled and my breath would catch right in the middle of my esophagus. Didn't even care that he had a gap between his two front teeth. As a matter of fact, it added to his levels of sexy. He opened those lusciously kissable lips to speak, and my knees would immediately become weak. Baseline tones of masculinity seeped into my canals and infiltrated me, each word equating stroke after stroke in sessions of auditory lovemaking. Every syllable left me weakened and forsaking inhibitions and common senses. He was regally charming. My feet left the ground with hello, and the flights of Amore began. He quickly became my sweet dream, transforming to reality. By day, he catered to the queen in me. By night, he made slow, rhythmic love to me. It seemed he couldn't get enough of me, wanted to spend every waking moment with me, and in the midnight hours, watch me sleep. Told me I looked like an angel when I would wake and find him next to me. Adamant eyes drinking in the vision of me. He loved my children because they are a part of me. Said he wanted to constantly and consistently ensure my peaceful serenity. Said he would never allow another man to ever hurt me. He was my living, breathing fantasy, or so it seemed. He dressed up his imperfections so flawlessly. Beneath the dimpled smile and the seductive eyes lay a demonic entity plotting my demise. Prepping and manipulated me, he molded me into the docile, love-struck woman he needed me to be. Started catching my breath in the middle of my esophagus with his brutal hands. Fingers squeezing the life of me. Used that gap between his teeth to viciously bite the flesh of me. Bruised and battered, skin bleeding and tattered, and then he would kiss my tears, holding me, whispering full words of remorse into my quivering spirit, rendering me as weak in this tormenting cycle of codependency. Forgiveness, my personal nemesis, as he once again bashed strong man hands against me, rendering me deafened, unable to hear out of one ear, sentencing me to a lifetime of pain, paralytic migraines, my plight for an eternity, a constant reminder of the love he so freely gave to me. He told me he couldn't get enough of me, spent every waking moment haunting and daunting me, would wake in the midnight hours to find that he had broken in yet again, and was watching me sleep. He was my bittersweet nightmare. Used my children to get to me. Told me no man would ever hurt me because he revealed his plan to usher in death for me. Made it his focus with intensity to ensure my last breath would be exhaled from me. He was my bittersweet fallacy, my beautiful lie, blinding my third eye, rendering me helpless, hopeless, and doubting anyone else would ever love me. But my day of deliverance came, and I realized I have been bruised, blackened and blued, sang the blues as I cried for him. I have been beaten mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically too. Have spent days dreading him, nights exercising him, finding I simply could not rid my system of him. He was still controlling me even after I evicted him from me, yet he squatted in my soul, claiming rights and refusing to go. So I brought in a positive force that made him so uncomfortable that he had no choice but to leave. For the light and the dark cannot coexist in one place. Today I can receive the beauty from those who bestowed upon me. See, he told me I would never love again as he beat me. He promised me no man would love me like his sin. He banked on me being broken by the things he did to bring me to pieces, but in those pieces my peace remained intact, thus leaving me bruised but not broken. And today I simply want to tell him the pain is fading and I'm no longer crawling on bloodied knees, I'm standing. Wanted him to look me in my eye as I tell him I am bruised but not broken. I have learned to love again, but you were right about one thing. He doesn't love me like you did. He loves me the way I deserve to be loved. He embraces me in cherub's wings, speaks beautiful poetry into my insecurity, and he erases you from my tomorrows, purges you from my todays, and uses you in my yesterdays to show me what a real man is not, and gives me an example of what a real man is. You wanted me dead. You planted the seed in my head the day you beat it into me. And I want to thank you for the headache that reminds me I am bruised but not broken. For if you had broken me, I would have died there on the floor that night. But I learned to fight, to battle with my spirit and my mind. And today I am a stronger woman, more resilient. My beauty glows just a little more. My heart beats just a little louder. And my breath is a precious commodity for me. You tried to break me, but you did not succeed. And you never will. Because I've learned to love me the way I deserve to be loved, and I may be bruised, but I will never be broken.